Morning everybody, welcome to Savvy Social Show with me, your host Sean. I apologise for any background noise, I am outside. I want to thank you for giving up your precious time to watch this video. We're going to talk about the wars that are going on and what's behind them. And this is just my opinion, it is just for entertainment purposes only. It is not meant to be based for anything else. Right, we have seen the attacks on Iran's so-called nuclear sites. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Ukraine, Russia. We're going to be talking about what's behind it. We're going to be talking about China and America. Now, it's a lot more in depth than it seems. First off, if you remember, a while ago, Trump was obsessed with getting a Nobel Peace Prize. And in almost every conversation he's saying, I won't get a Nobel Peace Prize for this or for that. Almost trying to push him into nominating him for a Nobel Peace Prize. And when he didn't get that, it's almost like he's going, well, if I'm not going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, I want to be the hero of the story. But I think it's more in depth than that. I think when Israel attacked Iran and they opened the door for the rest of the world to do similar things, because it's more like someone in a bar fight saying, I thought he was going to punch me, so I went and punched him first. And they had no precedence for it. I know Israel and Iran have been at each other's throats. I am unbiased in this, but it's the fact that Iran could have attacked Israel back when they were weakened, and actually the conversation is, should they have? Because then it would have done more damage when their Iron Dome was weakened and when they were weakened as a country. Instead, they won the moral fight by saying, no, we will not attack, we will not retaliate. And then it gave Israel a chance to prepare, rebuild, and actually do cyber attacks on Iran before attacking their sister. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment in the box below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please let me know your thoughts, because it makes me know that you want me to do more of these kind of videos. Now, I did a scenario before all this kicked off a couple of years ago, where I said, what happens if China attacks Taiwan, and I said America would defeat China if Russia is not involved, but the problem is America would be so weakened it would no longer be a superpower. The new superpower would come from the likes of Poland or Iran. And I'm not the only one who's noticed that. And it seems to me that these other countries are looking to knock these potential superpowers down. And also it helps the fact that Iran has just found a large amount of rare earth materials earlier this year. If you remember, Poland was supporting Ukraine in the war because they're right next to them until recently. I think they ran a similar model and they suddenly stopped supporting them and started building up their own defences. But let's get back to the topic at hand. I think the rare earth minerals come into play here. Right, Israel and America are suddenly determined to knock Iran back a few pegs for the nuclear program to be anywhere near weapons grade. It needs to be enriched to 90%. It's only at 60% according to the experts. Also, they were signed up to the nuclear treaty, which means that nuclear scientists go in and check their plants, what they're doing. You know, one of the 4 countries that are not signed up, Israel, because they don't want scientists going in checking on what they're doing. However, what you're getting is the first time they asked the scientists not to go in. Iran asked the scientists not to go in. All of a sudden Israel's saying it's because they're building weapons of mass destruction. What about Israel? When they're not even signed up to the treaty, what gives them the right to say, oh well, they're building nuclear weapons when they're not signed up to the treaty? And what gives them the right to say we can have nuclear power but another country cannot? I'm not a supporter of Iran. I'm not a supporter of Israel, but I just don't like these wars breaking out for no particular reason. And I believe there is also another reason behind it as well. I think it just ticked all the boxes, and that is that because America was the only one who had these bunker busters, and we don't know yet whether the nuclear facilities were destroyed, damaged, or what happened. We're just getting reports, oh, they hit their target, but we don't know if their target was actually the correct target. And then we see the fact that America giving Israel support might have been on condition that Israel would agree to a ceasefire with Palestine or something. But that would be so they could concentrate on Iran. See, and the thing is, we all know how Trump wants to build a hotel in Palestine, and we all know that he wants to move all the people who are living there without right to do so. And he as I said, he's obsessed with Nobel Peace Prize, so it would look great for him if he came up and said, I negotiated a ceasefire between these two warring countries in the Middle East that no one else has done for generations. And the reason why is because the only one to put forward a relevant peace agreement for Ukraine, Russia that could be considered is China. Now, what happens if China puts forward a peace agreement that's agreed? Well, that means they go up in the pecking order as a superpower. And America don't want that. It means people listen to them a bit more over America, especially over what's happened recently with the president changing his mind so often. But why did China, has China not got involved in this Israel-Iran or Russia-Ukraine situation? Because they are sitting back waiting to see what the responses are from every country around the world, and then they will use it as an excuse for the Taiwan invasion. And why is that? Because they will the biggest international students to America have been Chinese people learning law. So all these people come to America, they become law students, they get taught American law, and then they go back to China. And then they advise the government on how to proceed with international law. And that is invaluable to them, because that means that they can help them navigate the best way to avoid any sanctions and to avoid any issues. Because if, like with this Israel-Iran situation, if China attacks Taiwan, it's saying weapons of mass destruction, we bombed this site, and America goes to defend them, they'll say, hold on, you bombed Iran for a similar reason. You didn't go to the UN to discuss it, you just went and bombed it. And same with Israel. So what gives you more right than us? You know, are you a democracy or a dictatorship? And China are playing the long game. The one thing about China is they're patient. They're very patient. That's why they're one of the superpowers now. America is a superpower because when the world was in World War II, every country was decimated and then focused on rebuilding, except for America. America was so far away from it that they didn't have to rebuild. They would concentrate on building their economy. Now, and that's what China was doing. They were focusing on building their economy. They didn't have to. While they were rebuilding, they were from the Japanese invasions. They were rebuilding their economy. No, it's taken them a long time. They've been patient, and they've been dictatorship instead of democracy, which has fast-tracked them compared to other countries. But that's got them where they are today. Now, I would like to know what your thoughts are. Do you think in the next 10 years America will be in a struggle for its superpower status, or do you think they will keep it? I'm predicting they will struggle to keep it. Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to check out links down below. There's plenty of freebies, including free share worth up to £200 or dollars, depending on which country you're from, and there's plenty of other freebies as well. I'll see you in the next video. By the way, someone just notified me they got a free Apple share from my Trading 212 leak. I'll see you in the next video.